So, yeah, we just beat Markoth, and this gives us a good like 250 essence to work with, on top of the 898 that we already have. We use up to 1148 out of the total 1800 that we're gonna need for Awoken Dream now. So, let's do that. On 1221, again, you're gonna be doing the early control Dream Gate. On 1.4 plus, you're just gonna Dream Gate as normal. Word of caution. Dream Gate, early control Dream Gates with Dream Wielder on 1221. You're going to have to wait a little bit before doing them. You're going to have to Dream Nail, you're going to have to Dream Nail, Dream Nail, and Dream Gate, because Dream Gating immediately seems to, for most people, Dream Gate you before the essence collects. It's load dependent, and for me it would probably save time, but generally it's not going to save. Generally you're going to have to do the Dream Nail before Dream Gating, like that, with Dream Wielder. Without Dream Wielder you can Dream Gate as normal. Alright, so we come back here, the stag's here, and we just beat Markoth, so we're going to go up 2 to get to Dirtmouth. Alright. We get to Dirtmouth, we're going to leave the stag, and we're going to take the bench. We're going to take the bench because we're immediately going to come back here after Gorb. We're going to immediately come back here after Gorb. Hold on, give me a sec. Do I... yeah, fake soul. And climb up here and C-dash. There's a couple ways to like collect soul in this split, and there's one that uses Dream Nail and one that doesn't. This is the way that doesn't right now. So you get, I think 6 nail hits in here. I'm not entirely sure. And you climb up here. Alright. Oops. And that's 9 hits. You just get 9 hits, kind of like that. And then Gorb is just 3 Shade Souls, 2 of them should double. And then, and that's Gorb. Let me go through all of that again, from Dirtmouth. Right here. Okay. So, right here, we have no soul coming into here because we just did Markoth, and we should be finishing Markoth off with the Shade Soul as much as possible. C-dash, 2, 3, 4. I'm not 100% sure of the soul collection here, because I exclusively run Dream Wielder route, but that gives you 6 hits of soul, which is like good. Alright, and then you can get 3 hits in here pretty easily. And if you want to like bank on the RNG C-dash, then you can C-dash through this solid. That leaves you with 8 souls, so you're gonna have to get 1 nail hit. And that didn't triple. In that case, you just... not like that. But you can just get another. So, on 1-2-1, you can just Dream Nail from here, and that'll work. But on... because you can Dream Nail cancel, and then you can immediately take damage. Taking damage, important note, taking damage will let you quit out after Dream Warrior Dream Nail cancels immediately. It's only really important here. There's no other places in this run where that's really important. Here it's very important because you're going to quit back out to Dirtmouth. So it's important in that regard. So on 161 you can just leave and take damage. On 1.4 plus, hold on, let me load Gorb. On 1.4 plus, you're gonna have to lure this Vengefly over and take damage to it. You're gonna have to Dream Nail like right on the edge of where it can hit you. So the limit for Dream Nailing Gorb is about like here. It's actually a bit closer. It's like here-ish. So oop, there's the Vengefly. So there's about a 1 night wide window where you can be. It's from about here to like the edge of this orange box. And conveniently there's a little like divot in the ground, like exactly where the edge is. So you just stand here and Dream Nail. Let me do that again. Let me do the Gorb fight again. The Gorb fight again, very simple. Get to full soul. 3 Shade Souls, 2 of them should double. Stay on this divot in the ground, Dream Nail, and the Vengefly will come in and do damage, hopefully. No. So this is like the tiniest bit too close, apparently. Alright. So it's about here. Oops. And then the Vengefly runs. Does it not? Huh. Oh wait! Oh wait! Oh wait. I have invincibility on. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. So yeah, the first one would work, the second one would also work. That's about exactly where you want to be. Around here. You Dream Nail, the Vengefly comes at you, and it hits you. Then you can immediately quit out. Without that, you can't immediately quit out and you have to wait like a second. I'll show an example. So without the Vengefly, do this, I'll mash pause. And you can't pause until like a second after the animation's over. If you take damage, you can pause immediately, so that's good. Oops. So that's the soul collection in the fight without Dream Wielder. Here's what you would do with Dream Wielder, or rather what I do with Dream Wielder. So do that, save state, have no soul going in, once again. Soul is much more lenient with this, I will say. 1, 2, that's not what I do actually, give me a sec. It's much simpler than that. Alright, so you're coming with no soul. Don't need any hits on that, that's 1. Then you get 6 hits worth of soul with that Dream Nail, which is really nice. Right, so you already have 7 soul out of the 9 that you need. You go up into cliffs. That's 8. And that's 9, and then you can RNG, you can do that C-dash and go over to Gorb. And that's simple enough in terms of soul collection. You can do that, lure the Vengefly over, Dream Nail, get hit, and then you can quit out. Very simple. Gorb split doesn't really have much to it, it's just optimizing the movement from, or rather through KP. It's a lot of optimizing that movement and then optimizing the soul collection on the way as well. Otherwise, it's not that complicated of a split, especially with Dream Wielder. You only need 3 nail hits, of which one or two you can just get on Gorb for basically no time loss. So, it's here. We are heading into probably one of the most annoying splits in at least 1.4 plus true ending. Monomon. The Monomon split, of course, has uumuu, which is so annoying on current patch. At least I will say. So it's basically any percent. We go down here, we go into crossroads rather, and we're just gonna make our way down over. Do this inventory drop if we can get it. If not, that's completely fine. Just make sure not to take damage to the tick-ticks. This is the exact same so far. C-dash, stop the C-dash, you can just shake-click through. If it's there, if it's not, that's fine. This room is slightly different. We have wings. We have wings, and that helps. What I like to do is, I'm blaming that one on the lag frames. So dash, dash, cling, dash down, and then jump. Very simple, and in my opinion, easier than the C-dash method. And if you mess it up, you can just recover with the... If you mess up too early, you can just recover with wings jumping out. And if you do make it, you just go over and wings jump out, and that works. And you can do the C-dash method, it's slightly slower, but if you're used to that, it might be easier. And of course this one, covered also in 80% guides. Walk off, and then just C-dash as soon as you hit the wall. And then jump out. But almost everyone does the wings version. If you want to greed and save like a tiny bit of time, probably on the level of like 0.5, you can do that and not cling onto the wall at all. But it's a bit easier to time if you cling onto the wall, because you do move downward slower. So that's Crossroads Acid, and we head down into here. Trinome drop. There's a version that I do without inventory drops, and that's the only version that I'm going to cover. There's two different paths that you can take without inventory drops. Here's one, and this is the one that I always do. That's not the one that I always do. Hold on. That's not the one that I always do. Hold on. The one that I do is this. Go right first, go under this platform, left for a little bit, and then do that. Ow. Usually you don't get hit by that Lumafly, but... One more time. Right, back under the platform, under that platform, left for a little bit, nail slash that, and that gives you soul, and you just go to this room. The one that I see everyone else doing goes right instead of left at the beginning. Not like that. Let me think. Goes here, then goes right past this platform instead of left. Which I guess is like that, and that. Then just goes left like that. They're both the same speed, you still fall the same amount of distance. If anything, I think the one that I always do loses 1 frame, but that's 1 frame of difference in an hour and 10, hour and 15 minute run. So it's not a big deal at all. One more time my method. My drop right here. Alright. Go in here. You can shake look through that Uma if it's, and you can see it here. They should be high. If they are high, that's fine, that's great. That's not a C-dash, hold on. Oh, I have to do this again. That's fine. And you really don't need that soul if you want to skip it. You come in here, shake look, and then you immediately C-dash. And if that Uma is high enough, the core won't hit you. If it's low, it will. Hold on. Like, this is pretty low. This is gonna come back and hit me. No? Oh, it went through the transition, never mind. Hold on. So let's say like here. Really? I guess, yeah, it's just RNG. Sometimes whether it hits you or not. That doesn't come back either. So basically the C-dash is mostly safe. Can you hit this one forward? If that happens, then you're gonna get hit. But usually that Uma's high enough that it doesn't matter. And if not, you can just wait a little bit. You can get hit by one of these little Uomas, and that's RNG. But generally, it's safe. And if you're scared and just want to, if you want to, hold on. If you want to skip all that, you can just like shake cloak and just dash through. Like if you're at 1 health, then you can just dash through and that's fine. And this is important. Dream gate down. This has killed so many runs just because I just forgot to do it. And people like Kuro, who's at the time recording current record holder for 1.4 plus, just forgets this and it loses. And having to climb back out of archives just loses like 30-40 seconds. So remember to set this dream gate. If you need to, just write it in your split names. Very important. Go in. Go over. You really shouldn't need to bench, but you can if you need to. Archives. You really don't, with Dream Wielder, you don't need any soul. Without, it would be smart to get 5. And then here, a bit different. You can do the C-dash method. You can do the C-dash method. Or it's slightly faster to go over here and do wings. It's a bit scary starting off because you're like, am I going to make it? But the acid is pretty low. You can jump pretty low. That was just a bit too low. But you can jump pretty low and not get hit. Like here. Never mind. It's a bit scary, but that's fine. Alright, Uumuu. So, Uumuu is going to be very significantly different on 1.2.1 and 1.4 plus. So I'm going to be covering only the 1.4 plus version that I like to do. And it's 1.4 plus, I'm going to be using Dream Wielder. So what I like to do is I like to stand up here, and you can have plenty of time to heal. As soon as you see Uumuu, Dream Nail, and as soon as they start to move, do another Dream Nail. And then land up here somehow, stay up here, and then clear this all around, stand on this edge of this platform, they start moving, jump, shake cloak, and jump, and make sure that they're like around here. Around like 1 or 2 nightstand away from the platform. Then kneel slash wait, chasel, 1, 2, 3 chasel. Let me cover that again. Because that is fast. I'll do it at half speed. So you have plenty of time for a heal if you need it. And plenty of soul. Once they come up, Dream Nail. Once they start moving, Dream Nail again. And this is all with Dream Wielder. Without Dream Wielder, it all changes. So on, like, for example, 1.2.1, we would be doing completely different movement in Dream Nails. Stand here. And this is, I've gone like the worst RNG twice in a row. And then stand here, wait, and then shake cloak dash shake cloak dash pogo to refresh the dash in wings. And I got an extra. If you get an extra, there is a damage cycle that you can do to save it, but it's, in my opinion, much more difficult than the extra list 2-cycle strat. You can lure them down to around where the platform is, and around here to the right, and then do nails, shadesel, nail, 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 shadesel, 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 and I don't know why that didn't work. Probably timescale memes, but if you do it right, that should work, and that should get you a 1 cycle. And if you can't, a 2 cycle is much easier, especially with Dream Wielder, than a 3 cycle is in any percent. So at minimum, you really should be getting at least a 2 cycle, if not a 1 cycle. Though a 1 cycle is much more difficult. Stand at the edge of this platform. If they're about to hit you, feel free to drop down early. Stand at the edge of this platform. Jump, dash, wings, jump, pogo, dash. And that'll get you up here. 5, 6, 7, 8. And of course this is just an example. There's a different method for a 1 cycle that uses the same as the first cycle for the any percent 2 cycle. But I haven't found much success with it, so. 3 nail hits, shadesel, shadesel, shadesel. The trick is you need the first, second, and third shadesel to all double. The hard part is the first shadesel. Is that the right timescale? Yes, okay. So, this feels so fast after playing at low timescale. Stand here, they come after you, drop down here, come up here. This is a bit close, but it's workable. If you think they're really close, you can stand up here for a little bit and drop down, and they'll make a little arc. You do need to pull back before the first shadesel, which is the hard part. So you nail, pull back, shadesel. That's the hardest part of this. If you don't pull back enough, it won't double because of this. Hold on. Shadesel does not hit very far back. It hits very far forward, but it doesn't hit very far back. Let me turn off screen shake. Screen shake off. Right. Shadesel does not hit very far back, even though it hits very far forwards. So this is why you need to pull back. So, nail, pull back, shadesel. Nail, pull back, shadesel. And this is the hardest part of the 1 cycle by a long shot, at least for the no extra. And probably around 70–80% of the time, you're only going to need to do this. You're not really going to need to do the extra version. But if you do, in case you do, it's good to know that. So, nail, pull back, shadesel, dash, 1, nail, 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 shadesel, shadesel, shadesel. And you might need to pull back on the first shadesel here as well. I'm not entirely sure how that works, but it seems to be more consistent if you do pull back just a bit. So, let's do it again. Uumuu. Saying this is easy. Actually getting it down is not. Oops. stand up here, drop down here. Also important note, the bottom two platforms as well as the edges of this platform are always safe from the like static attack. For the extra version, for the version with the extra, it is similar to the any percent first cycle, but from the right side instead of the left side, so mirrored. If you think about it like that, if you run any percent and try to get the 2 cycle there, but it's much more difficult with the extra, I feel like, so. Let's try to get another good one without the extra. And of course, whether uumuu does an extra or not is dependent on how far they move within the cycle. So that one shouldn't be an extra. So just stand here, uumuu will come after us. This is a good distance. We're down to there. Nail, pull back, chasel, 1, 2, 3, chasel, chasel, chasel. And that's it. You need 7 shadesful hits and 4 nail hits, which is why you need to do the nail pullback shadesel at the beginning. Because that's 1 nail hit, 2 shadesel, 1, 2, 3, that's 4 nail hits, and then 3 more, 2 of them double, and that's 5, plus 2 is 7. 280 plus 20 damage is going to be 300, which is exactly what you need to beat uumuu. So you very much need this nail hit. Alright. One more for the road, and then we'll move on. And I can get this decently consistently, but it's also possible that you have much more success with the any percent, like first cycle any percent, like similar to that, but with shadesel. Experiment with a couple things. I think the any percent 2 cycle is somewhere in the Discord in the guides channel somewhere, or the strats channel rather. If you search through there, you should be able to find it. So definitely experiment. It's not easy. This is the hardest part of the run to do, like, optimally. That one was a not a 1 cycle because I didn't get a double on the first one. Or the second shadesel rather. You absolutely need to get a double on the first 3, or else you will not do enough damage. The third one will not double, or the fourth one will not double. Let me think about it. That's not correct. I got a double on the first one, a double on the second one. The third one is too late, so I didn't get a double. So it may be good, now that I think about it, to walk towards uumuu a bit more before the second nail slash. Let's bring them up a little bit. It's a bit low. Like, that was good. And yeah, it is better to just walk up before the nail slashes. Alright, so now that that's done, uumuu, this is going to be one of the things that you probably put more time into practicing if you want to get the 1 cycle consistent. You're probably going to be putting more time into, like, Trader Lord, White Palace, and Radiance, but this is not one of the easier fights at all. Moving on. Hold on. Give me a second. Alright, moving on to... Now that we've gotten... now that we've defeated uumuu, go down. We get a inventory drop if we can. If not, that's completely fine. Dream Meal drop loses a bit of time to the inventory drop, but it's much nicer because you can see exactly where you're going. So you dash over wings, and then here you interact with the tank. It's fastest to jump off, dash off the top of the tank, because then you walk back nothing to talk to Coral. So come up here and dash off of this. It's a bit farther out than the rest of the tank is. If you're not comfortable with that, you can just cling onto the tank and dash away, and that's completely fine as well. It's like a 2-frame difference, if that. Walk up, Dream Meal the tank. It's like the first frame possible that you can do it. So yeah, it's just the tiniest bit faster, but it's really preference whether you want to do it or not. Give me a sec, let me turn camera shake back on. Give me a sec. Alright. And we pick up Uumuu. Or Monomon, rather. Uumuu is dead. We pick up Monomon. Alright. From here is potentially the second hardest segment in this entire run. The second hardest and most inconsistent segment in the entire run. So, hold on, give me a second. So we've gotten Monomon, and now we have to go into Queen's Gardens. Before we do that, we're gonna get No Eyes. We're gonna do No Eyes with the essence. Dash over, slash this. Luckily, Shazel True Ending does not have to do QGA. It's because we can just go through the Shade Gate. Hold on. So you break these planks. Up slash, Pogo. And that gives you 2 hits of soul, which is super nice to have. Pogo here, Pogo this, that's 4, Pogo this, and that's 5. 5 hits of soul, which is super nice to have. 6 if you need, 7 if you really need. And then you set a Dream Gate right next to that room. Let me climb up. Here it's good to Pogo that lantern, that gives you a bit of extra height. If you need to, you can line it up. And then do that. We absolutely want full soul and full health going into No Eyes. Because No Eyes is inconsistent and can just absolutely kill and run if you're not careful. Alright. So we go into No Eyes. And what we want is 5 Shazel hits. Oops, that last one missed. And if we don't get that, we have to chase her around and get nail hits and another Shazel. And sometimes she can be really nice and teleport into good places and give you doubles. Sometimes she can be really not nice and teleport away every single hit. Not even give a chance for doubles or anything like that. We just have to hope that she stays in the right places for doubles. That was an RNG double. If she's next to platforms, she will get blocked by those, kind of like Markoth. So, yeah, kind of like Markoth, so definitely be careful of that. Try to Shazel her when she's in like open areas like this, And definitely not when she's like right next to a wall. Because that will not work. That was good. That was 2 doubles and a Shade Soul. 2 doubles and a single. And that's enough to finish the fight. Where is she? Up here? That was too close to a wall. That was teleport. That was a double. I think. So this should finish the fight. That was a double. It wasn't quite... The second one wasn't quite a double, but it was okay. So this is bad RNG. She teleports after 2 of the Shade Souls, so you just physically cannot get the doubles on those. And then she teleports, and you have to get another Shade Soul. You need 5 Shade Soul hits. That's the main thing, because she has 200 health. 5 Shade Soul hits will just finish the fight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, she teleports away, 2, 3, 4, so just need 1 more. And one thing, no matter what you do, never nail cancel. Like, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that Shade Soul. If you nail cancel like that, you risk her teleporting away on the nail hit and not on the fireball. So make sure that she isn't teleporting before you Shade Soul. Okay, that wasn't it. Need 1 more Shade Soul. Really? What? What did I do? Okay, that's the end of the fight. Somehow I guess I missed the Shade Soul entirely. And then that was too close to the wall, so that's not gonna... Alright. One more. Oops, yeah. I was too greedy with that Shade Soul. I'm gonna assume that this needs 2 more. Yeah. Alright. You really want to you also want to lose as little health as possible in this fight because there's not a bench for a while. There are very minimum healing opportunities for a little while. Like that was good. Alright. Once you finish the fight, there's a trick for 1.4 plus. On 1221 you can just Dream Nail and then Dream Nail cancel and Dream Gate out. On 1.4 plus, Dream Nail cancel doesn't exist. However, here you can with Dream Builder on, you can Dream Nail drop and that will Dream Nail and it will also send you into the spikes. If I can get it. And that lets you Dream Gate immediately. So you Dream Gate, you hold the opposite way you're facing and that'll instantly Dream Gate you. Let me do that again. Let me do the entire fight again. And I'll show that again at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's the end of the fight. Then Dream Gate and hold right. And that'll instantly Dream Gate me as quickly as possible. If you don't have enough health, if you're at 1 health, that's completely fine. If you're at 2 health and that's scary, that's fine too. If you're at 2 health, definitely go for the cancel. But if you're scared of QG, feel free to just quit out instead of just keeping going. Because if you quit out, that's a full heal. And then you can Dream Gate back here.